Hello and welcome to Graceful Connections presented by Academy for the Soul. I'm your host, Sophie Bidar, and the co-creator of Graceful Connections together with Christel Hughes, founder of Academy for the Soul, the online school for intuitive arts. Graceful Connections is an adventure of exploration, discovery, healing, liberation, growth, and truthful expression, which is facilitated, amplified, magnified, and blessed really with grace. As graceful connections are woven between you and our expert speakers, your graceful guides to creating heaven on earth. So thank you for joining today, and whether you're on the live call or the replay, thank you for bringing your beautiful presence, the contribution of your unique vibration within the orb of grace. And today we are together for live intuitive readings galore with John Burgos. First, let's begin with creating our safe, sacred space. So I invite you to relax and take a few deep breaths. Breathing out all that does not belong to this moment. Let's bring all of your attention and your presence here and now. We set our intention that our time together, all that is shared in words and beyond the words, all the energies that we call in and flow serve our highest good, our evolution, and be of service to the highest good of all. You can decide to open your heart or open it even more and be ready to receive. And you can decide to open your mind or open it even more and be ready to receive. Remembering your connection to the center, to the heart of the earth, and your connection to the center, to the heart of the universe, so that you are held, both grounded and suspended. You are safe, relaxed, and ready, and open to receive. Now I'm calling the orb of grace from the heart of the universe, placing the orb of grace around our group, our gathering, and each and every one of us. That we be held in the orb of grace and infused with grace all along our time together. Let's take a moment to adjust to the purity and the subtle high frequency of grace, allowing it to gracefully dissolve, realign, harmonize, amplify, magnify all that needs to be so, in purest alignment with divine will and the divine order of grace. And breathe. Beautiful. Now, within our sacred space of the Orb of Grace, I'm delighted to welcome our brilliant expert, John Burgos. So wonderful to have you with us today again, John. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be back today and for the
Mm-hmm.
Q&A section of it. I'm really excited.
Thank you. Yes, and yes, we mentioned being together again because we've had a profound and truly fascinating video meetup with John. And if you missed it, you'll want to be sure to catch up. You have the link on your webcast and replay page. And today we're going to dive into the exploration of the next steps of your spiritual awakening, your soul purpose, your light worker mission. John will answer your questions, or if you have other burning questions, you can ask as well. So to ask your question, to come on the line with John, if you're on the phone, press *2 on your phone. If you're on the webcast, click raise hand, or you can place your question in the Q&A box on the webcast. Now, while you do that, before we get started taking questions, I want to ask you, John, are there any highlights that you want to share from our meetup? Any key takeaways that you would like to remind everyone about that would set the stage for the intuitive readings, the Q&A today?
Oh my goodness, for setting the stage. Well, we're pretty open, but what's really coming in very strongly is about meeting others in their mastery. And the conversation of going from witness to mirror it's really that. In the witnessing, there's those kind of expectations. There's a thought of where people can be or should be, and there's a wave that goes back and forth in the way that we interpret, judge, and then relate to one another. And they're mirroring back of something else. There's a conscious awareness that I want to invite all of us to bring in as we're transitioning through this phase of what I like to call spiritual maturity. We're growing up and becoming so much more aware than we ever have been on multiple levels. And with that awareness, there's a strong calling to hold a position of leadership. And by leadership is meaning bringing in the wisdom that you're garnering for yourself and see others in that wisdom also. Hold the others in their highest. See them in their highest. Have expectations for their highest. And in that, we form a resonant field, not just around us, but around other people as well. And we really start shaping our realities based on the higher potentialities, higher threads of what we know is possible, but somehow we just haven't been able to get there yet. And we start creating with more synchronicity from that place, because from that place, the force of resistance doesn't have as strong of a hold, because we're more in the flow of creation and what's most aligned, instead of trying to interpret and manipulate a creation for the sake of being witnessed, being held in our lower aspects that, frankly, we've grown and have learned through. But there's still that phase of just remembering that we don't have to hold on anymore. The body and the mind still catching up that, wait, it's not like that. It's learning how to trust it and have faith in it, and ultimately to know it as the actual truth.
Yes, thank you. I love that. One thing I'm hearing in what you're saying is entraining wisdom, and in which, as I hold and share my wisdom and call forth even more wisdom and embody it, I entrain yours and inspire yours, and we can choose to entrain each other in wisdom and bringing those highest potentials at every moment. So I love that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so
absolutely.
Let's entrain wisdom. Let's do that. Let's do that together. So thank you for being with us today to take questions, John, and everyone. Let's get started. There are many questions, which is wonderful. Thank you all for your interest. We'll do our best to get everyone served. Let's set this intention. And for that purpose, by the way, you're welcome to make yours an answer that is offered to someone else. If it touches you, if it resonates with you, also if it triggers you, if it gives you chills or a knowing, that's for you as well. So in that way, everyone will be served today for sure. And I want to let you know that there will be a special announcement towards the end of our time together. So make sure to stay all along to make the best of this opportunity we have with John today. So with that, let's get started with live callers. Then we'll go to the Q&A. We'll go back and forth. First, I want to go to London with Manisha. I'm unmuting you, Manisha. Hello, welcome, Manisha.
Yes, thank you, Sophie. Can you hear me?
Yes, welcome.
Yes, thank you. Hello, John.
Hello, Manisha.
Hi, John. I'd be very grateful, John, if you could please let me know about the next steps of my Spiritual Awakening Soul Purpose Lightworker Mission and any other insights you may have for me to move forward from surviving to thriving. Thank you.
Oh, it's and I'm slowing down to just tune in because immediately I get a very general answer, and it's really for everybody. And I'll get to that in a second. But Manisha, I'm curious why you're asking this question. How does it relate to you on a deeper level?
I've just been in a survival mode for many years, like 4 decades, because of all the hurt and pain, betrayals in my life, and that has also given me time to work on myself and become a better version of myself. So I'm now looking at what more can I do and how else I can serve. Thank you.
Where are you afraid to demonstrate that better version of yourself? Where are you holding that part of you back?
With this, I think probably a lot of fear from maybe when I was growing up. My father was a bully. So I have fear of authority, and there's a lot of fear in my heart as well.
Right? How tender is that? It's bullying energy has been something that's been coming up in the field for me also. Passive aggressive behavior just out of nowhere, really out of nowhere, or things that I thought were long finished, and there's something that wants to go even deeper into where the original core wounding happened, to just remind us, and again, I'm being very specific with my words, to remind us that we're not the same that we used to be, you and I, when we were experiencing and trying to manage and trying to appease or walking eggshells around that bullying. So be aware of your ability to recognize it that much more quickly. Be aware of your capacity, that there are resources and community and support that will help you not tolerate the bullying anymore. In other words, not keep it in your field, not be subject to it. And then be aware of what you're holding whenever that you feel you might be bullied. When you have a thought of someone from the past coming forward, is there resistance and anger and wanting to push them away? And I want to invite you, if you didn't listen to the last call that Sophie and I had a couple of days ago.
I did listen.
At the end of that call, I invited everyone to go into their heart center and to offer that and to expand their energy of the love that they were engendering through the thoughts that I was asking you to evoke, through tuning into something that made you happy, something that you love, the cherished moments, and to expand that field into, as you expanded that field, to take it out into those places where you see that there's discord, that you see that there's strife, where you see that there's a great need for compassion that you have the capacity to give. So anywhere that you fear this bullying coming up, or any thoughts that you have of an old thought of being suppressed, or any thought that you have of needing to have to fight someone to stand up for yourself, I want you to do two things. I want you to see yourself in your sovereign state, holding the power and the wisdom that you have now, all the work that you've done over the years. I want you to augment it in your energetic field and be aware of it. Like, own it. Own your full capacity for it. Knowing that whatever needs to be filled in any circumstance will be filled in from the divine. You will be guided towards the essence that you're emanating. And as you're sitting in that, you can build, we'll call it an energetic standard for what you're willing to be in relationship with. It's not a boundary, it's a standard. You're holding in the octave for a note that you're insisting on holding, because I don't want you to be in resistance or in fight with a boundary. As you keep holding and insisting on that standard for yourself and knowing that you're capable of holding it, it means that while you're aware that could be bullying going on, while you're aware it might come into your field, you're not holding a resonant field for it. And if it happens to show up in your periphery, you're aware that you're a no. And if it happens to encroach into that periphery, you're going to be much more quick to recognize it and to put a very healthy awareness around it so that it doesn't continue to come in. Now, as you're holding this place of strength and power, and all this is coming from love, you take that love and you send compassion to the person who may be suffering, to the victimizer, to the one who may be trying to cause you harm. And you wish them well. You wish them the highest for themselves. And you bring all of yourself back home to you. And any part of you that's holding on to them or that resonates with part of them, you give that part of them back to them. And you let them go with grace and compassion and love. And because they're in one place, doesn't mean you have to be in that place. And because you're in one place, it doesn't mean that they have to follow along with you. The energetic standard in which you carry and the intention that you have it is going to go a long way. And I want you to practice this. For you, I would say do it on a daily basis and get comfortable with it. Get more aware of your authority in this. And again, will circumstances come up where people aren't so nice, or they may try to impose their will or manipulate? Perhaps. In our lifetime, most likely. But it's our reaction to it. It's our awareness of the tools that we have access to, not just energetically, but the legal tools, the community tools, the friendship tools, that all come together into a place where we can create a different reality around that. We don't have to fear our father's bullying anymore, because is your father's bullying happening right now?
He's passed away, so
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't even want you to go back and forgive your father. It's done. That karma's done.
Okay.
That you learned from it. There was a soul agreement that came through, and there was something that you were coming in, and you're saying, you know what? In this lifetime, whatever residual of bullying that I've had in other lifetimes, whatever I experienced in this, Dad, you came into this lifetime to show me just how strong I am, to show me that I'm ready to be done with this pattern. And so thank you so much for demonstrating to me on a soul level, and I'm ready to move on. And don't carry the energy of the past as much as you can. And again, if the fear from the past comes up, if the trigger from the past comes up, just go back to it, recognize it, say, I recognize you. Thank you. I send you love, and you get back to that place where you want to be, instead of back to that place that is not here anymore. Even if you think about it, it's said that you bring it here, but I'm telling you, we are transitioning through karmic experiences extremely quickly right now. A lot of us, to be honest with you, are cleaning up the end of karmic patterns. When we talk about the new earth and the new world and what's possible, it's because we're not looping through the same energetics anymore. We're really completing those cycles. And when I say completing, I'm saying completely completing those cycles. Be aware of that. Don't be afraid of your fear of the past. Come to it in the present moment, what your experience is now. And with love, compassion, with your authority, choose the experience you want now. And that's going to help you tremendously. It's a shift in perspective and how we carry the energetics of that perspective. It's going to help you tremendously.
I'm so grateful, John. So much wisdom. It's so profound. And thank you so much, Sophie. Merci beaucoup.
Je t'en prie. Merci, Manisha. Thank you, Manisha. Blessings.
Thank you,
Thank
Manisha.
you. Thank you, John. I love the invitation to be aware of your authority. And I believe that that's something many of us, if not all of us, can take for ourselves. So that's one takeaway for everyone right here. Okay, beautiful start. We're going to go now to Frederick, Maryland. 4525 are the last digits. I'm unmuting you now. Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much. Hello.
You're welcome. Hello. Yes. What is your name, please?
My name is Miri, M-I-R-I.
Welcome,
Mary. Hi.
Hi, John. Thank you both. John, I've been with you for a number of years, and I'm very excited for us and everyone to just really experience this new iteration of you. So
thank you.
Thank you. I have spent the last 2 years cocooning, and I feel like I have come to the other side of a lot. And my question is more about my physical body that seems to be struggling along, my nervous system, particularly at night. I wake up and I've got heat in my feet, and I've got this vibration sometimes at the base of my skull, sometimes in my head, and different parts of my body. And my digestive system has kind of forgotten how to digest. And I'm wanting to support myself, in addition to patience and trust, in a way that is most supportive for myself.
Well, first of all, I love the patience that you've had as you've gone through this cocooning and feeling yourself on the other side. I've gone through about a year of cocooning also. I mean, I've been active in lots of different places, but so many things wanted to get created or wanted to motivate, and it's like, can't do it. It was really being okay with temperance and the slow pace, because something was evolving, and the body, of course, is affected by all of that as the cells change, as we form new neural pathways. The chemistry in our mind runs in different ways as we're releasing or having dreams. The nervous system gets triggered, or situations or circumstances change because we are cocooning. Relationships can shift, or there's pressure to reach out or do things, and we don't have the energy to do it, or even the intuitive hit to do it. And we're learning to live much more intuitively and in synchronicity with the impulses of those intuitive or guided hits, if you will. So bravo to you for listening and for listening to your body as well. I'm going to give you very practical information, and it's because of my personal experiences over the last 20 years. when I've gone through these stages and there has been deep cocooning and the need for rest and internalizing, and again, the nervous system gets kicked up, and not to mention what we feel in the collective and the disruption of sleep and how the energy that we're receiving is affecting our physicality. There's just no denying it. But definitely get your hormones checked. I would use a combination of Western and natural medicine. Get your testing done through Western medicine. Get your pituitary, your adrenals, your thyroids. Again, a blood panel. See where your vitamin levels may be off, including your D and B vitamins. A big part of that. And then, as you're aware of your nervous system response going into the fight or flight, again, part of that may be hormonal. Part of what I feel in your feet may be part of that as well. How old are you?
76.
76, okay. Wow. You sound so young. Amazing.
Oh, thank you. I feel young. I feel strong, but the body is like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so again, getting the support through, again, the proper testing through Western, but having to do a deep panel. It's like regular insurance and doctors, they'll go up to a certain level, but you want to ask if they can do a more precise test on some of these things. The supplementation will begin to help you within 3 months, and you will feel a surge of energy and vitality that will come through. Drink lots of water. And what do you do for play?
I'm just discovering, good question, what I can do for play. So in the moment, if I feel inspired to go to a concert or go to an art show, that's what I do. I've been so giving in this lifetime that it's been a deep excavation to discover what I enjoy and don't have to be perfect at doing, like painting or.
Because you've derived your enjoyment by showing up for others and their needs and enjoying their enjoyment, and this is asking for something different, right? And that's what causes a lot of the chemical imbalance in our bodies. Like, we're overgiving, or again, we're out of balance. And I'm not telling anything that y'all don't know, but I'll remind you. One thing, something super easy. Go on YouTube and find a comedy show or something, anything that'll make you laugh. Make it really simple. Start raising your vibration and awakening that vitality through something as simple as going on your computer. I'd say don't do it on social media. By like the instant gratification hits on like Instagram and things like that. I want maybe a little longer sustained laughter. So if you're going to watch something, be in something for 10 minutes rather than a minute and a half, because our brain, it's like it doesn't allow the chemistry to run through our brain and etch new pathways when there's such quick hits. So if we can be in an emotion for longer durations of time, we're etching the pathways in a way that can sustain a lot better. So look for depth of enjoyment. Look for longer periods of laughter and curiosity and joy. And for you, it's about joy. I get laughter is going to be such great medicine for you. And try to find that where you can.
Yeah, it feels like that would be wonderful medicine.
Yeah, absolutely. Very simple, but that's what's coming up for you. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Mary.
Thank
you, John.
Thank you so much.
And blessings to you. Thank you. I would say that this recommendation for an immersion in laughter and joy, that's another one that many of us, if not all, can take for ourselves. So I love it. Yes. For more than half a minute or a few seconds or even just a few minutes, something much more solid. I take that. That's a great point. Thank you, John.
It's the intimacy of it. It's like we want to build intimacy, and that intimacy is what builds a solid relationship. And so you're looking to build. Again, we're getting to know each other and ourselves as new, as we're again cleaning up this karma, and we're redefining ourselves, and we're like, wow, it's like I have space where bullying energy doesn't have to be in my field, and I don't have to be unconsciously on guard about that. What do I do with this extra space that I have? Right. Well, let's fill it up with those things that we want in our life, right? And so that intimacy with what we seek is so important.
Yes. Absolutely. So being intimate with laughter, that's a great intention and a great practice. Beautiful.
That's a good relationship right there.
That's a great one to have and to nurture. Excellent. Okay, we are going to Toronto with Sharon. I'm unmuting you, Sharon. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sharon.
Hey, Sophie. How are you?
Good. Welcome, Sharon. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, John.
Hello, Sharon.
Hi. Well, I am here. I'm sorry I got on a little late, and maybe that's my story. It seems I'm always late.
Honey, you're never late. You're always on time.
Right. So
no, really.
Missed the question, sweetie.
Yeah. So what's your question? You get to ask a question.
Oh, I get to ask a question. Okay. Yeah. All right. So then let's go with my ability to step out again. Like I have gone, I got thrown out. Like I got fried, let's say. Okay. And so it's taken me a long time to get back on track. I've been doing a lot of work with Christel Hughes and that team, and I really have grown a lot over the last few years. And but my life went through a change, like it like kind of ended, and at one point I couldn't even see my beginning, my next window to step into, whereas in my life I've always been able to see the next. But this time I had not been able to. I am now starting to see, but I don't know how to step into it. I keep getting blocked, and so I'm just wondering if you could take a look at that.
Yeah, I certainly can. And if it gives you any comfort, I've certainly been going through a similar experience. I think a lot of us on this call, and I know a lot of people in our community are, again, as we're shifting energies and completing cycles in humanity, and those of y'all who've been doing your work and have been really showing up and been clearing family karma and just stepping up into that soul's calling us to this expansion in this life that you've agreed to be in this lifetime. It's like, but I've done all this stuff, and it's like, what's next? It used to be so clear, what's next? Well, we're in a period of new for many of us. And in that newness, we can't go back and repeat our lives from the patterns of the past, because we've been cycling through patterns for decades.
Right.
And decades for me. It sounds like decades for you as well. Again.
Absolutely.
And so, and now we're like in a new playing field. It's like, okay, what do we do here? And there's an aspect of, you've done your work, you've done a lot of clearing, you've done a lot of work, and you're like kind of waiting for others to catch up. It's like I'm kind of waiting for others to catch up because I know I'm supposed to step out, but what I'm supposed to step out to is just, it may not be lining up in my collective quite just yet. So what do I do in the meantime? First of all, let's stop. It's like, okay, why am I in such a hurry to get to the next thing, to step out? And some of it will be, well, I feel lonely. I feel unhappy. I feel like I don't have purpose. Okay. Some may just be, well, I did everything that I was supposed to do, and I need to resuscitate my financial resources in a new way. Or I've defined myself as so-and-so. If I haven't defined myself as that, I don't know who I am anymore. And so let's take stock first of like, okay, why am I so anxious to get to that next place?
Okay.
Can you tell me what yours may be?
Oh yes, mine is financial, definitely financial. Like it's to the point where I'm at the breaking point, and I know I have to step out, but I don't know. Like I know areas that I could step out into, but I just can't seem to make that action. That's so I just am, or maybe I'm afraid that I will be rejected.
Amazing. Welcome to the lives of almost everybody on this call. Right? Oh my God.
Right.
Let's bring some levity to that. It's like, wow. It's like, okay. And how much compassion would you give to me if I told you that I had a fear of rejection? Probably a lot. So like, okay, let me compassionate that part of myself. And then if I were your son, and I was doing this and I was capable of quite a few things, would there be a certain point in that after cheerleading so long and holding space and witnessing that you'd be going, okay, you're capable, get off your ass and just take the next step?
Yeah.
Just put something
absolutely.
out. Just do one thing.
Yeah.
Do one thing. So you and I here on the call and being witnessed by everybody else, what are 3 things that you can do in the next week to take that next step?
I can reach out to see if I could get hired online for something that I'm working towards.
Beautiful. One.
I could, this is hard. I could put an advertisement on my Facebook.
2.
I need one more.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I could step out to a coffee shop and see if they would like me to do some readings in their coffee shop.
Amazing. Oh, my God. Or a bookstore. So can you do all 3 of those next week?
All next week?
All next week?
Let's say yes. Let's
Amazing.
just not hum and haw about this.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. All 3 of them next week. You were just taking your action taking ability and moving forward is removing the barrier that says that you're stuck.
Yes.
And you may have been stuck, but you know what? Now you're saying, you know what? I am choosing to get unstuck.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna choose it starting as early as tomorrow. It's up to you. But by next Friday, will you have taken all 3 of those actions?
I will.
Welcome to being not stuck, and be okay. Be okay being rejected and not accepted and people saying no, because what you're doing is you're working towards aligning to what is in alignment with you. And sometimes we just have to navigate, these roads that we don't know to discover how to get to that new place of home. But you can feel where that new place of home is. You can feel that there's a new part of you. And so getting lost along the way is so worth it. And sometimes during those mistakes, or quote unquote mistakes, you meet the most amazing people and angels who help you think something bigger perhaps than what you thought was possible. So look at all of it as an opportunity and guides and angels and your highest self showing up along the way. And trust that you're not alone in this, that your hand is being held, that your heart is being held, and that your guidance, that your soul knows exactly where it's taking you for your highest good, and because you are here to create ripples in the collective consciousness with your love and your authority.
Thank you, John. Yes. That feels good.
I'm looking forward to it. Okay, you got to report back to Sophie that you've done.
Come back next Friday.
I'm not laughing. I'm being serious.
No, that was a happy laugh.
Absolutely.
That was a happy laugh.
And mine is a confirmation laugh. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Beautiful. Blessings, Sharon. We'll be in touch.
Thanks, both
yes.
of you.
Blessings.
Much
Wonderful.
Blessings.
Thanks.
Yeah. Welcome back to Take More Live Callers. I've picked one question from the Q&A. I think it's going to resonate with many of our listeners. It's a question from Amita in Foster City. And Amita writes, I want to know if I'm aligned with my soul purpose. I heard that if you're aligned, then you don't struggle much. But for the 5 past years, I'm struggling a lot with my health, both physical and mental, having issues with prosperity. Thank you so much.
Well, you all have heard of Yeshua, Jesus, in Catholicism. I think he's pretty popular, right? That man was aligned with his mission, and did he suffer? Did he suffer? And I'm not saying you have to suffer for the sake of others or being the sacrifice. And suffering, I would say, is a focus of recalibration of knowing where something is trying to align for a higher good, and then how quickly can we get to a place of compassion and moving forward in ourselves so that the suffering doesn't need to continue in that way. And then where are we trying to find a solution to a problem that we feel that we're suffering through, or that we know that we're suffering through, but we keep coming up with the same version of the answer for that riddle, and it's asking us to think outside in a different way. So for you, I keep getting, I wish you were live on the call. I want to ask you some questions. But I keep getting that it's like you keep repeating, trying the same thing over and over, trying to overcome what it is that you're trying to overcome, and it's not leading to the solution that you're hoping for. That there's something that you're aware of that you're not willing to shift or transition, because it may cause heartbreak or extreme discomfort if you were to shift out of that. I'm guided to tell you that the solution is closer at hand that you believe, that the heartbreak that you believe will be caused is nothing compared to the heartbreak if you continue in the current circumstance. Sometimes we're so afraid of what we may feel that we keep creating what we're afraid that we might feel by not changing it. And so we're living in the suffering of discomfort by fearing the discomfort. And I know this sounds a lot easier. I know it's easier said than done, but we're really aligned to take action in a new way. I love it. If you want to show up to any one of my calls on Beyond the Ordinary and raise your hand for this, I'm happy to dive into it. The membership may be great for you. We'll talk about that a little bit later, because there's an acclimation. I'm talking like I'm in video and using all these hand gestures and using my body. But there's this acclimation of an energetic authority. I have to keep saying that, an energetic authority and power that we hold within us. And we can hold that authority and power with a lot of innocence and compassion and gentleness as well. Don't confuse it for it being forceful in a way that takes away from something else. This authority and power that you have is actually generative and gives vitality to yourselves and others through your ability and willingness to move with it and to mold with it. So sitting quiet contemplation for you, I would say at 6 minutes a day. I would say 12 if you can do up to 12, but I give for you just 6 minutes a day. Try it for 30 days. Sit in stillness without asking any questions, without listening to anything outside of just to the stillness, without trying to repeat a mantra, but just try to go blank and breathe and allow that stillness to open up within the center of your being through your solar plexus and heart. And maybe you start each meditation with stating what it is that you want. I want to be happy. I want more financial resources to come in with ease and grace. I want my home to feel like a sanctuary. I want to laugh more. Start claiming those things that you want, and then let your guides know that it's their job to take away what you don't want. The suffering, the pain. Guides, take it away. I know you're here with me. I want you to take that away. I don't need to do anything. I'm going to sit with what I do want, and I'm going to focus on what I want and everything that I don't want. My fear of having financial insecurity, guides, take that away. It's not mine. I learned it from my parents. I learned it from the collective, the environment that I'm in. I learned it from my ex or my current partner. It's like, not mine anymore. I'm done with it. That karma's done. Guides, take that away. And do that every day for a period of time. And start feeling the confidence that arises in you as you start bringing in the energy of what you want to create more appropriately into your field, and letting go, releasing, allowing your guides to set you free from the energy that you don't need to focus on right now. Focus on what you want. It's going to be your practice. You're not going to go from 0 to 100 overnight, but the more that you do this, the more it's going to amplify your field and demonstrates you just what a powerful creator you are. If you're creating, and I'm not just saying this that you're creating it, that it's your fault that these things are happening, but we're environmentally influenced and entrained. And so we carry that. So it's like, oh, wow, I've been creating with this Play-Doh that's been given to me, and it's all gray color, and I've been playing with gray Play-Doh the whole long, and I don't really like gray. Let me give the gray back and put it aside, and someone bring me the rainbow-colored Play-Doh, and I'm going to start creating that, and I'm going to have to start having fun with that, because I was bored and done, and this gray color was making me depressed, and I just don't want to keep doing that anymore. I'm tired of making stick figures and ashtrays, and I'm ready to create flowers and homes and beautiful magical scenes, and that's what I'm going to choose to create with now. And you start to entrain yourself. You start taking authority of your creation. You start bringing in the essence of what and how it is that you want to create, and you'll find that you gravitate more towards that than you do to the gray Play-Doh. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I promise you, with practice, you will feel a dramatic shift. I hope that helps.
Absolutely. Yeah, certainly. Very much so, I'm pretty sure, for Amita. And I really love what you brought this. Let your guys know that it is their job to take away what
Absolutely.
I don't want while I focus on what I want. This is really brilliant. And it does actually answer quite a good bunch of questions that are in the Q&A. So I'm really happy about that, that many of our listeners, this is for this practice applies to so many of the questions that I can read right now. So that's a very, very precious insight and invitation for this practice that you wrote here, John. Thank you so much. I think now, since you've mentioned it, let's bounce on the mention that you made of the Living in the Extraordinary, your special offer. So we'll come back to take more questions. So John, you've created an exclusive offering, Living in the Extraordinary membership for Spiritual Awakening. You have an exclusive offer for Graceful Connections. We'd love to hear all about it. So for everyone to follow, you have a button on your webcast page, Living in the Extraordinary. And if you're on the replay, you can just scroll down the page, and also you can go to gracefulconnections.com/John2. So John, please reveal what you have created and what is Living in the Extraordinary.
It's a creation. It's a creation of a calling that came in a few years ago. So I've been running Beyond the Ordinary show and hosting it for over 10 years. And for 7 years into that, that's all I did. I didn't do other coaching. I did it pro bono, if you will. People showed up and I was guided to really guide the people through different processes. But other than that, it's not something that I was guided back towards. It's really the focus on the show, even though I'd done it before and quite well. And then 7 years into the show, so about 3 years ago, guidance came in really strongly. It's like it's time to start taking private sessions again, taking one-on-one individuals and coaching and sharing what I've embodied and what I channel through the guides that come through, and how I can tune into people's highest potential and really express your highest potential to you through an energetic field that we create together as we're asking each other questions and having dialogue. It's without a doubt is one of my gifts, is I can tune into someone's potential and just extrapolate what's possible and let you know some of the things that are in the way so that you can be in deeper, intimate connection with that part of yourself. So again, the opportunity for private sessions came in, but I can't take a lot of private sessions because of the show. It takes up a lot of time and energy, and I went to go outside and play and be in nature and laugh at the comedy shows and do those other things, right? Living in balance. And so I was committed to about 4 or 5 clients per month, but that was really the cap on what I could do. And also the accessibility to me and the price point is, what Beyond the Ordinary and the audience that we have, just the price point for private coaching just wasn't accessible for everybody. So I asked my guys, how can I reach more people and make this really accessible? Because I feel bad making it so exclusive. Not feel bad, but it just didn't feel right. Let me rephrase that, because that's an important distinction. And the guidance was to start a membership platform and to make it as accessible as possible, provide a lot of value, and have a balanced exchange in it. So we created Living in the Extraordinary, and I've been hosting Living in the Extraordinary, the membership site, where I get to go on and I get to guide and channel and teach and share from different experiences one-on-one, like I would in a private session, but we do it in a group setting. And so it's like having me as a private coach in the membership platform. And it's been wonderful. I've been running it for 3 years, and we've kept it a really small, intimate community. I don't advertise it a lot because it just wasn't meant to go out in that way, and I wanted the focus to be really concentrated. But the guidance is it wants to start expanding again. So when Sophie came to me with the opportunity to present a special offer, it's like, oh, immediately, let's do something with Living Extraordinary. Let's get more people into that container. And so there we meet every Monday. We meet 4 times a month. Typically, it's a 90-minute call, and I'll get into a channeling session, share the latest message. We'll get into tools. We'll do readings. People will share kind of their wins or where they're stuck or what they want insight to. And it's really fluid, but it's been powerful. And in the library of the membership, there's processes that are archived that are what I share with my private clients as well, and they're powerful, and they're based on years of receiving sessions, years of training that I've received in different modalities, and a lot of very unique processes and tools that my guides have brought into me that have been powerful in my own evolution. So we get to share all that on the call. So again, y'all get, in the special offer, you get 3 months for $97, which is about a 50% discount if you were going to get all the calls and all the libraries and everything else. You'll be able to jump on 12 calls. So again, 3 months worth of that. So it's, what's that? That's like 17 hours worth of workshop. And you get to be in an amazing community of people who are really devoted to allowing their love to lead in the most empowered way, not just for themselves, but because they know that in doing it for themselves, that is of service to humanity, and the ripple effects of that are profound. So it's an amazing platform. It's a beautiful container, and I would love to welcome you into our home there.
Thank you. Thank you for extending this invitation to Graceful Connections, our people in Graceful Connections, and making this very, very special offer of $97 for 3 months. The value, as we talked about during the meetup, the price, your regular price is $69 per month, but as I've intuitively asked, what I received is that the value of it is tenfold, that it's 10 times the price that you're offering, and now with this special offer, it's even half of it. So it is very.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, it's to work with me, again, one-on-one, I have a monthly retainer of $2,500, and that just feels balanced considering all the time. And again, that's not accessible for everybody.
Right.
And there's people who want to work with me that I can't quite fit into the calendar also, and then I need to take my sabbaticals from time to time to recharge my energy, to receive my downloads. So this really is just, it's the value, again, of working with me for 1 month is, again, the going rate right now, and people tell me I should charge way more, but it's $500 a month, and you get very intimate one-on-one and group facilitation in those live calls.
Absolutely. Yeah, and one thing I was pondering since our meetup a couple of days ago, one of the key takeaways that I took from this video meetup is that the mirroring that you explained, and that we are now called to, no longer the witnessing, but now the mirroring, it's extremely demanding and challenging, right? We need to show up at the highest level of integrity. We need to consistently make the choice of love, of taking the high road. We need to ask ourselves and answer very difficult, possibly triggering or even disturbing questions, such as, what prevents me from offering love at this moment in this situation, or what prevents me from receiving love at this moment, or even where am I at war with myself, right? These are really difficult questions, and we need tremendous courage and we need to sustain our commitment and our determination. And it seems to me that doing that in community and with the significant support and guidance, that's what makes it all possible. So I find that it's perfectly timely that you bring this special offer, Living in the Extraordinary, that you bring it to Graceful Connections as you step forward, John, to be the divine mirror with whom we can feel safe and supported and encouraged, empowered, guided. And so in short, what I realized is that what you're offering with this special offer, it seems to me that it's really a critical success factor for this new phase for the light workers, the phase of the mirror.
Yeah, and again, as we were on one of the callers earlier, stepping into the new, right? It's an act of courage, and if we don't know what that new template is, and it's new, it's unknown territory, it can seem daunting. But when you're in an environment where others are not only doing it, but embodying it, and you see that they're doing it well, and that the worst fears of what might be possible and coming through, but actually something else, and what's awakening in there, our journey becomes easier. And then we summon that courage, and again, we engender an environment for that new sense of adventure, and y'all hold on to your hats, because that newness is not going to be targeted anytime soon. We're stepping into new, beyond new, beyond new, beyond new, beyond new, and be prepared to be in awe and wonder as you step into the intimacy of higher aspects of yourself that you haven't touched before, and be prepared to be held as parts of us that may not want to have an experience because we're afraid to move. Be prepared to be held in a place by those who can hold you and that can meet you there and can help you navigate the confusion of discomfort so that you can rise to your highest potential.
That's the place. That's where it happens. So, Living in the Extraordinary, 3 months with John to get started. As I said the other day, and I'm really pretty much convinced that once we're on board, we stay on board, because it becomes it becomes part of the way of life, right? And having those Monday calls and everything else that is included. So make sure everyone to check on the special offer page, because there are so many. I'm going to mute you for a moment. There are there is so much more that is included in the membership. So make sure to go and read all the details on the special offer page. And there will be a special announcement towards the end of our time together, as I said. So stay with us, because you will want to know all about it. So let's go back I want to take a caller. I'm going now to unmute you again, John. I want to take the call from Kelly in Florida. I'm unmuting you, Kelly. Hello.
Hello, Kelly.
Hello, Kelly. Are you there? You with us? Kelly. All right. Well, maybe.
Sophie, I don't hear anything.
No, I don't either. So I'm gonna ask another person. All right. We're gonna go to Tallinn with Marion. So I'm unmuting you, Marion. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Marion. Welcome.
Hello, Sophie.
Thank you. I got on a little bit late also. Like around 20 minutes in, so I missed the beginning, but if I could have just like a quick little mini reading, or like what do you see, John? Because financially, like I feel like I'm trying really, really hard for months. Like
Hello, Sophie, I am back in case.
Hold on. Okay, John, you're there. Yeah,
I had fallen off the call.
I
Oh,
thought so, and I was gonna try to
And
reach
maybe
out to
Sophie
you
got
to say to
disconnected.
come
Let's
back.
see.
Are you there? Can you hear me, John?
I
Can
am
you hear
still
me,
here.
John? Yes, Marion. Just hold on a second, Marion. John, can you hear me?
Well, I'm going to keep talking here in case Sophie is the one that fell off. I can't really tell from my side.
Okay.
Let's see what we have here, y'all. I apologize. But there's a lot that's coming in through the field. And again, we're expanding into new places of potentiality that are really being created by the thoughts that we're choosing, the emotions that we're saying are the most important to us, and to be really aware of how we're choosing those. So imagine if you're going down, and like our earlier callers, like, oh, bullying energy is coming in, and let me think about the bully, and let me think how I'm going to defend the bully, and what I'm going to say to the bully, and how I'm going to react when the bully shows up again, and when the bully calls me, when I get the email from the bully, and we start getting into like these stories in our minds about how it's all going to play out, and how we're going to protect ourselves, and how we're going to feel safe, and how we might do it different, or how we may need to act in a way that is not really being constructive for us. It's not creating the life that we want to create because we're so busy trying to avoid the life that we're trying to leave behind, that perhaps we've already graduated from. So notice when you're coming into your mind and into that place of defense, creating a field that isn't serving you. Notice the tension in your body. Notice your breath. Notice where you leave yourself. And the second you notice that come back, it's like, oh, that's silly. Let me send that energy my love. Let me send the people in that story so much compassion. Let me wish them well wherever it is that they are or going to next on their own journey, and bless them as the souls of the divine that they are as well. And then create in its place something beautiful and new for you. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be in love? Do you want to be in laughter? Do you want to be in awe of the rainbow, of the rain, or the snow, of the autumn leaves, of the ocean, of the rivers, of your children, of the affection for your parents? Create the field and the environment that you want to be in its place the second you catch it. And keep empowering yourself through that act of creation, and build up that spiritual and energetic, again, that auric muscle, so that that becomes your default on an ongoing basis, so that you catch so much more quickly, those places where you'd rather not be, and replace them with those places that you would rather be. There's a lot that's showing up for us in this field of creation, and you're empowered. You're ready. So enjoy the ride in that. And let me see. Sophie's not coming back, so I'm going to look
I'm
again
here.
to
Can you
see
hear me?
if it's
Can you hear me,
something
John?
on my side. Excuse me here.
Can you hear me, John, or not? No, you can't hear me.
And again, maybe Sophie's line has gone out, but I have no way of knowing because I can't control the line over here, y'all.
I can hear you, John. Yeah.
And I'm going to talk for a couple more minutes, and I'd love to take some more calls from y'all. This is a lot of fun, and again, this is what we do in the membership, and so much more. Again, the information that I've been receiving and the channeling that's come through has been just coming through on a whole nother level, has been so powerful and so deep and just confirmed by information, articles, people showing up that that are beyond extraordinary in the confirmation. I just have to laugh at it because it's beyond being rational, and that just informs me in how we're creating in a whole different realm of what's possible. All right, y'all. Again, if you're on the line, I know Sophie has put the link for the special offer up there.
Yes.
In joining us in living in the extraordinary. I hope that you join our community. I hope to be able to see you on those calls. Again, it's an extraordinary group. There's a Facebook group, live calls every Monday. From time to time, we switch up the calls. They're typically at 5 p.m. Pacific. And sometimes we run the calls at noon Pacific so that we can have our community and our dear friends in Europe and other parts of the world show up in a time where they can ask their personal questions as well. And again, because I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the connection, maybe it's on my side again. I don't know.
I think so, John.
But with that,
because I can hear you. Yes.
I'm just sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for your time and your energy of being here with me. Thank you, Sophie, for inviting me to this graceful connection.
Thank you infinitely,
I can feel the love here, and
Stay with us,
I'm
everyone. I'll pick it up.
To be able to participate in this way. Again, send you so much love. Namaste.
Much love to you, John. Stay with us, everyone. If you hear me, I want to share the announcement with everyone that was promised. I'm so glad that John was able to pick up while he's experiencing some difficulties hearing me, but I hope you can hear me. So I want to share this special announcement that was mentioned, and so now is the time for the grace of abundance to flow into our gathering. Yes, the special announcement is the following. John is offering a fast action bonus available for Living in the Extraordinary, the 3-month membership. So that's 12 live group calls plus everything else that you have that is described on the special offer page. If you purchase by Sunday, October 15th at midnight Pacific. So this fast action bonus is a special live group call with John, connecting with the next level of your guides. The value of this call is $180, and it's all about how and why a new team of guides are communicating with you. And in this call, you will really be supported and guided to upgrade your team of guides. Now, as we are now, as John brilliantly described, now we are in the phase of the mirroring. It's a whole new demanding phase that demands an adequate spirit team, and that's the solution that is offered, that John is supporting you with, is showing up with this additional special live group call in which he will guide and support you to connect with your team, with a whole new team of your guides that correspond to this upgrade. All right. So you need to take action now to get the connecting with your next level of your guides, this special call with John, in gratitude for your purchase of Living the Extraordinary, the special offer, the 3-month membership for $97. Take action by Sunday, October the 15th at midnight Pacific. That's how you get your fast action bonus. And again, I want to say that personally, I see that this 3 month membership, the Living in the Extraordinary with John, the one-on-one in a group setting, direct access to John. That's the ultimate solution for navigating the mirror, right? And the demand of this new phase of evolution for light workers is answered with direct access for you to John with Living in the Extraordinary and with your upgraded team of guides. So make sure to take action by Sunday, October the 15th at midnight Pacific. Of course, if you've already purchased, you receive the bonus as well. And that's a very graceful and generous additional bonus, fast action bonus. Thank you so much, John, for offering this to our community. And thank you so much, everyone, for your consideration. Now let's take a moment to breathe. And to be present once again to the orb of grace. Allowing it to remain there, holding us, holding all that we have received today, all that we're not even aware that we are received, but allowing it to settle in. Orb of grace, holding us for as long as it serves our highest good, our evolution, and the highest good of all. I'm closing now by giving gratitude to each and every one of you in the audience. Thank you for answering yes to the calling of grace and to the calling to create heaven on earth right there within yourself. Gratitude to you, wonderful John Burgos. I'm so sorry that we lost John, but I'm so grateful for his presence, his contribution, all the wisdom, the brilliance, the offerings that he gifted us, that you gifted us, John, today, through all the graceful connections that have been woven with John, his masterful expertise. Thank you, John, for your generosity of heart and of time and wisdom and all that you are offering exclusively to our audience. It is very precious and very appreciated. Gratitude to Christel Hughes and the Academy for the Soul for offering this platform in which graceful connections grow and expand, impacting our lives, our environment, and the world at large, creating heaven on earth. Gratitude to the Orb of Grace for providing a safe, sacred space for this journey of exploration. Gratitude for all the grace we are blessed with at every moment, whether we are aware of it or not. It is offering all the nourishment, the nurturing, the healing, the revelations, the realizations we open our hearts to receive all along this journey. Gratitude to our higher selves and all the higher beings that guide, support, and protect us. And gratitude to the divine. Until we meet again, many graceful blessings to you all. Thank you, and goodbye now.